So now we turn to the lightning talk session this morning. So the ground rules is we'll have 1 minute to basically just give a pitch on why should we come and see your presentation? What's the coolest thing that you're going to talk about? So this should be a lot of fun. So yeah,
Hello everybody, my name is EUNSU from New Jersey State University. My presentation focuses on special decision support systems, which will have visualized interactive roadway inventory management systems for local transportation planners and engineers.
Good morning, I'm Zenobia Fields. I'm with the North Jersey MPO. I will be joining EUNSU in the planning application session. I will be presenting on how we identify needs and how we show how we respond to those transportation needs, mainly focusing on the county profiles, looking at a freight activity locator, and how you engage the public in that decision making.
Hi, my name is Michael OPPERMAN from the University of Vienna. And in my talk, I will present the Bike Sharing Atlas, an interactive visualization system for the exploration of hundreds of bike sharing networks worldwide. Being increasingly digitized, these networks nowadays produce data that can reveal interesting insights, not only into patterns of bicycle usage, but also into underlying spatial-temporal dynamics of a city. So we have recorded this data from several hundred networks over 1.5 years. We aggregated the data and we made it publicly accessible on a web platform. If you're interested in this visualization system and how we can expose commuting patterns with a special interaction technique, come to my talk at the end of session 1A. Thanks.
Hi, I'm Scott PERLEY from ITERIS. I'm in the first presentation, so you have no excuse not to come. So I'm doing a visualization for the MAP21 system performance measurements for a dashboard that takes data and analyzes it for the state of California to provide visualizations on the MAP21 system performance measurements.
Hello, I'm Frank BROEN with Teach America. I basically looking at the question of how do you tell how good a transportation system is. So I looked at all 50 states and I've put together kind of a visualization of how I think all 50 states are doing in communicating performance measures. So you're welcome to come take a look at that.
Hi, my name is Leslie Harwood. I'm from Virginia Tech Transportation Institute. I'll be speaking a little bit today about modeling topography surrounding connected vehicle deployments. Connected vehicles use a GPS-based algorithm to communicate information wirelessly between vehicles and the infrastructure. And we know that there are issues with this communication in certain topographical environments, including deep urban canyons and areas of high vegetation. So in this presentation, I'll talk about using LIDAR to model an environment and quantify surroundings of connected vehicle deployments and visualization techniques, including web mapping, to show those results.
Hi, good morning, everyone. My name is Carrie Himes. I'm with Atkins North America, a colleague of Charles. I'm going to be presenting session 1B today, and my session is going to be focused around a project we recently completed in London, where we took 2 historic assets over 80 years old and converted them to digital assets with a great precision and high accuracy. And now those assets are being managed through that digital means using asset management systems. And I just want to share that story with you and hopefully encourage everyone to envision what's possible with bringing our historic assets to current standards and utilizing current technology.
Hi, my name is ALHASAN from Iowa State University. I'll be talking today about LIDAR and point clouds in general, and how we can use them for assessing pavement condition during construction and during life cycle. And I'll be focusing also on how we can communicate visuals with theories and math behind it, because as Einstein said once, if you can't explain it for 5 years old, you don't understand it well enough. So if you can't visualize it well enough, you don't understand it well enough. So that will be my talk. I'll be in session 1B.
Thank you. My name is BEJLERI. I'm a faculty of the University of Florida. My presentation is also in session 1B. And since we're in a visualization conference, I picked a topic that can show the power of visualization as self-explanation tool to tell the story. And we picked a topic that deals with flooding, which can have devastating effects on our communities, as we all know, with what we expect with not only with a storm surge, but also with the expectation from the sea level rise. So we use a variety of techniques, a combination of 2D, 3D GIS, 3D laser scanning, actual 3D printing, as well as the videos from the actual events that happen, do a comparison of those and see the impact that those have in the community to understand this issue and also serve as catalyst for action.
Ben Blandford from the University of Kentucky Transportation Center. My background's in geography, so if you like maps, I've got a session for you. That's my sales pitch. No, my presentation is on, I did a paper for TRB some years ago on coal transportation. I built a freight network model using GIS. And back then I did it using 2010 data. And in the time since 2010 to now, coal production in the U.S. has dropped by about a third. So I wanted to model 2016 data and compare it to 2010 data and show how this decline in production is manifested through the transportation system, through rail, through waterways, through highways. So that'd be my presentation.
Doug Scheffler, Session 1C, Coast Guard. The problem is that when we're looking at ports, all the data that ranks ports is freight only. I want to put freight in the context of all operations within the waterway, so we developed a port scoring system. The presentation will talk about the system, and I'll also show the visualizations we developed from that in Excel graphics, GIS maps, and porting it into Tableau. And I'm
Hi, I'm SHUO from Iowa State University. I'm going to present a method to store and fast process the statewide weather information and to visualize the impact of the worst weather on traffic slowdown statewide. So if you're interested, please go to session 2A this afternoon at 1:45.
Hi, I'm Justina Govorowska. I'm with the Bureau of Transportation Statistics, and today I will be presenting with Christopher Roof from the Volpe Center on the National Transportation Noise Map. We're in session 2A that starts at 1:45. We will talk about aviation and highway sources of noise, and we will go over the modeling that was used to develop that data set and some of the applications that we've developed with the data. And we'll have really cool maps, so come see us.
Hello, and my name is Twin Lee. I am from Iowa State University. Today I'm going to talk about an automated method for visualizing transportation asset data. So visualization is amazing, but the process of developing a visual image is very challenging. It requires you to have expertise and skills to develop a visual image. So the automated method that we developed would help you to save a lot of time, and it would significantly reduce the reliance on human interface. So if you are interested in the system, please come to my presentation in section 2A. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Alex BADAOUI. I'm from Chicago, but my voice, as you can tell, I'm from Australia. My talk will be discussing the practical skills in actually building the model, whereas most of this conference will be discussing the product of the model. My talk will be actually talking about constructing the model from its base components in the concept of using Lego as the metaphor to build models.
Hello, my name is LEILEI DUAN. I'm a student from University of Florida. My session is at 2B, and I'm going to talk about volumetric population employment allocation. In short, it's a reverse process of the normal allocation process. So instead of planners telling you how many people you can allocate here, you're going to build the building forms first and then tell them how many resources you're going to allocate there. So,
hi, my name is Cameron SCHMEITS. I work for the Center for Transportation Research at UT Austin. I'm in 2B, and my presentation is on using 3D visualization to support TxDOT on two of their major construction projects in North Texas, $2.6 billion LBJ Express, $1.4 billion North Tarrant Express project. So supporting the owner on public-private partnerships with visualization implementation. So, you know, how do we support them?
Hi, I'm Kevin Gilson. I'm with WSP Visualization Group. I'm standing in for Lance Parve, who's not here. I'm just going to talk about, it's an emerging technologies session. I'm going to talk about 3D integrated models, incorporating LIDAR to support construction and planning on a large-scale transportation project.
Good morning. My name is Qasim Abdullah, and I'm a geospatial senior scientist with Woopert. My presentation is going to be on using LIDAR and drones for road mapping and design. If you'd like to know more about the LIDAR and mobile LIDAR for 3D design, or the drones, how we trying to augment the LIDAR with it, the session will be 2C at 1:45 this afternoon. Thank you.
Good morning. My name is Skylar Knickerbocker with Iowa State University. I'm going to be presenting in session 2D about sensor performance and how we're using the IODOT sensor data and how they're using, or we created a visualization for the IODOT sensor data and how they're using that for the quality of their data to monitor the quality of their sensors, as well as monitor the performance of all their corridors so that they can go back and explore the data.
Good morning. My name is Mark Franz. I'm a transportation analyst at the Center for Advanced Transportation Technology Laboratory, CAT Lab, University of Maryland. I'm also presenting in session 2D on system performance. The title of my presentation this afternoon is Visualization Tools for Traffic Bottleneck Analysis. Our Probe Data Analytics Suite that we host at CAT Lab has a tool for bottleneck ranking and visualization. So I'll be going over our newest and greatest additions that we've had to that tool that helps analysts look at a ranked list of bottlenecks within a certain geographic area and time range, and also looking at different graphs and ways of visualizing the impact of individual bottlenecks. Thank you.
Hi, everybody. My name is Charlie Moran. I'm in session 2D. I'm the director of reporting and analytics for an IT consulting company called iSoftStone. Today I'm going to be talking about dynamic traffic analysis, which really has to do with the rise in data collection and internet-connected devices, and how these types of data sources are beginning to change the way we look at transportation solutions. And we're looking more at smart city solutions and how these affect planning and investments. So in a joint effort with DKS, I'm going to be covering the type of solutions that we're talking about, how we're taking holistic approaches using smart city solutions, and also cover some of the upcoming stuff that we're doing in data visualization and data intelligence, which includes Tableau, Power BI, natural language generation, and machine learning. Thanks.
I'm Jake Stiles with the Virginia Department of Transportation. I'm the Director of Performance and Strategic Planning, and I'll be in session 2D this afternoon, and I'll be talking about how we're using dashboards to create transparency and accountability within the department. So we're going to be talking a lot about the VDOT dashboard, which we've had since 2003 or so, and some of the lessons we've had along the way there and what we're doing to make changes along the way. And then so we've got some new dashboards that we've just recently launched this year. And we'll talk about what's up and coming and how we're leveraging new technologies with that too as well.
Have you ever stood in front of 3 identical doors and been made to make a choice of which one? Behind door A may be a cozy couch in front of a comfy fire. Behind door C, you may have a nice cool breeze across the ocean. Or behind door B, you may see a picture of a road, which will rapidly render into a 3D model with cars driving across it, trees flowing in the breeze. And you may think to yourself, why 3D models? Behind this door, you're going to be challenged to think, why not 3D models? Tomorrow morning, you will be faced with this choice of 3 doors. If you choose 3B, you will be challenged to think, why not 3D models? My name is Jennifer Steen from WSP. Thanks.
I don't know how to follow that except to say that I'll be in the same session. My name is Jim Talley. I'm with Federal Highway Administration, and I'll be trying to follow Jennifer in talking about a recent environmental study that we did and how we use 3D visualization to sell it to several different partners, and also how we're using some of the same new emerging technology to carry us forward.
Hey, I'm Steve Olmstead from the Arizona Department of Transportation, and really the presentation is going to be on looking at the static nature of, the historical static nature of engineering design and project development, and really how it's kind of running flat into the digital and modeling world, and civil integrated management, and what in the world that even means, and really telling a better story through visualization when it comes to blending science, technology, risk, and engineering. A lot of what state DOTs aren't very comfortable with. Thanks.
Hello, my name is Sonia SMITH-PICKEL, and I work for the U.S. Department of Transportation, Bureau of Transportation Statistics. What I'm here to talk about is the Pocket Guide to Transportation mobile app. What I'm going to talk about is one of our most popular products that puts transportation statistics at your fingertips, and how we went from a 20-year publication into the mobile app, and also where we're going with the next generation mobile app, making a dynamic interface to interact with our website. Thank you very much.
Hello, it's Chicha Wang from Virginia Tech. I'll talk about games. I make games from the beginning to the end, from design, the story, drawing it, modeling in 3D or drawing in 2D, coding, and collecting data, test it. My games are for education purpose. I teach transportation engineering, planning, traffic control, highway design, payment design, embedded all these models there, like four-step model, planning, coupling model, or like all these things you will learn in undergrad, you can learn it with the games.
Hello everyone, I'm Ali Rahim Talakani from Upper Great Plains Transportation Institute. I'll be presenting flight delays and cancellation tomorrow. The underlying idea of the presentation is about a comparison between open source visualization tools like Python programming different visualization libraries versus companies like Tableau and Microsoft Power BI software.
Good morning. My name is Shuman Tan. I'm a researcher at TTI. I will talk about the static graphic intense profile and the interactive performance dashboard we made for Texas Transit District. And they will show the service information, the financial status, the performance measures, and the prioritized planned projects. And this is a 3-year-long project. We work with TxDOT to enhance the transparency in communication transit services, and also to facilitate the coordinate in public transportation. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Michael Van Daneker with the University of Maryland Cat Lab. I'm in 4A tomorrow. I'm going to be talking about a tool that we built at the University of Maryland that is being used to analyze large sets of incident data, though it is built in a generic way, so it can be used for any sort of series of events that occur over time. And Jason is one of our test users and is going to be demonstrating some test cases that he's run.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Jason December from the Maryland Department of Transportation, and the second part of session 4A tomorrow will talk about how MDOT is using the event flow tool to analyze our response to fatal crashes on interstates and U.S. and Maryland roadways, to develop trend maps and things like that to figure out how we can better coordinate with partner agencies to increase response time and open the road in a quicker manner.
Good morning. I'm Leo Fothergill, representing Maryland Transit Administration, MTA. We're a division of Maryland Department of Transportation, and one of the largest multimodal transit agencies in the U.S. So with an agency as large as us, we inevitably experience many accidents. So to help reduce those accidents, we developed a visualization tool called the Accident Mapping System. It displays accidents on a map based on user queries. We have charts, we have dynamic links to Google Street View, amongst many other features. And it's a great tool for us to communicate complex spatial information to our frontline employees and decision makers in an easy-to-use format.
Hello. If you forgot, I'm Kevin Gilson here from WSP. Tomorrow on session 4B, I'll be talking about interactive and virtual reality tools for supporting public involvement and design communication on transportation projects. I want to use my time to also talk about, there's a panel session tonight. I've gathered some other industry folks who are doing VR. We're just going to talk about some of the benefits and challenges with VR. That's at 3:30 tonight. And then also, I wanted to mention that there's a VR session. Charles mentioned it earlier, a demonstration area over in the East Court, where we have a couple of VR setups going with some nice examples of projects to take a look at. So please come by.
Good morning, I'm Mark Yedlin with Greenman Peterson. As engineers, we tackle some really interesting challenges. For example, combating sea level rise in Miami, reducing crashes and improving pedestrian and bicycle facilities along one of New York City's busiest and most crash-prone corridors. What if we could show these solutions to decision makers and the public using low-cost, immersive virtual reality? What would these reimagined corridors look like? Come see for yourself tomorrow in session 4B. Thanks.
Hello, I'm Jason Williams, and I'm also in 4B. I actually work for Textron Systems as a contractor for Federal Highway Administration, where I run the driving simulator at Turner Fairbank Highway Research Center. And so tomorrow in 4B, we're going to be discussing how we've managed to leverage tools and add GIS data into visualizing Waikiki. So if you want to know how you can build a visualization data set out of GIS data, pretty simply, the new tools are going to be showing are actually pretty easy to use and get some data out. So you don't have to be a total expert, but we'll actually talk about where you need to leverage your expertise to get down to the detail for a simulator as well, and the challenges therein.
Good morning, I'm Zach Vanderlaan of University of Maryland CAT. My presentation is entitled Visual Exploration of GPS Traces. So about 1.5 years ago, the Maryland State Highway Administration purchased about 4 months of GPS trajectory data. They subsequently reached out to UMD CAT and asked us to help evaluate its use potential. In my presentation, I'll be visually exploring some of the use cases that we found to be particularly helpful. Some of them include identifying major patterns at the state and local level, visualizing mobility from important activity zones, and finally, and perhaps most interestingly, trying to estimate traffic volumes on the Maryland road network.
Hello everyone, Mark Franz again, Cat Lab, University of Maryland. I'm presenting in 4D tomorrow on data explanation session. The title of my presentation tomorrow is Visualization Analysis Tool for Pro Vehicle-Based Origin Destination Data. So building off of Zach's initial analysis of trajectory data, we've developed some tools that we're hoping to kick off in our Pro Data Analytics Suite. So there's going to be visualizations on some of our initial designs of building OD matrices using that data. Also a tool that's going to allow users to select a segment or region of interest to identify the travel patterns that impacted that segment in terms of OD data, and also understanding their departure times from their origin. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Anna Batista. I'm 1/4 of the Data Visualization Center at the Federal Highway Administration. At the DVC, our goal is to emulate as best we can exactly what Donna Wong was talking about this morning and tell the story of FHWA's data as best we can. We're a shop where anyone at FHWA can request our services to create charts, infographics, analysis tools, to bring their data to the public or stakeholders or even internally to their office. We've done an analysis tool using R that will analyze HPMS data quality, and we also do a weekly factoid for social media that gets widespread attention. Those have been picked up recently by the national media, from the Washington Post to Fox News, and we didn't even use any fake news.
Session 4C, I'll be giving an overview of some interactive visualizations that we've created at the University of Maryland to help MPOs and states be able to quickly and easily fulfill their requirements for reporting on MAP 21 system performance measures, PM3. Those are available now to states and MPOs. And we'll also be showing an example of another analysis tool that we've created that will allow all of the states and MPOs to be able to compare their performance to one another and see what it is that might be affecting one state's performance versus another, why some regions might be doing better than others. We'll also be giving an overview of a real-time work zone performance monitoring application. This was developed for the I-95 Corridor Coalition. It uses trillions of probe data measurements. They're telling you about what the speeds are like on the roadway, plus real-time work zone data coming from the DOTs, their lane permitting systems, to be able to allow agencies to interactively explore where the construction zones are in their state, how they're performing in terms of user delay costs, queue, safety issues, and whatnot, and then be able to drill down and figure out why there might be some safety or speed, travel time, queue performance issues at that region. It also gives you real-time alerting as you request. And then another presentation we'll be giving is on a set of tools in our RITIS suite of products, that stands for the Regional Integrated Transportation Information System, that is making it easier for state DOTs to go in and perform rapid after-action reviews. So you've just had a major collision or some sort of incident out on your freeway system. You need to go in and get the fire department, the police department, the DOTs, the towing recoveries to get together in a room to be able to figure out what it is that you did well for the incident, what you could have done better, and what was just awful, and be able to visualize that and to try to facilitate a discussion amongst all these disparate agencies in the region to try to figure out how you can do a better job of responding to incidents in the future. We do that through a whole bunch of visualization analytics tools that are pretty neat.
So I got two other presentations with Michael in session 3A. One is a work zone monitoring tool that we developed for the Iowa DOT. The Iowa DOT has a pretty unique situation where they've got a traffic critical project program where they deploy a statewide deployment of IWZ intelligent work zones, and we monitor all those work zones across the entire state for them, providing them weekly, daily, and then speed heat maps that they can go back and explore. And it's a tool that really works with the district engineers so that they can actually start thinking about operations instead of just looking at the concrete that they're putting in on the ground. In addition to that, we've got a mobility report, or visualizing our mobility report and making it an interactive web-based tool that the DOT can go and identify where their congestion is actually occurring on the interstates in Iowa and be able to explore the causes of those congestion, whether it's winter weather, whether it's work zones, or reoccurring congestion. And then finally, in session 4D, I'm going to be presenting for Omar Samadi about the SHARP2 roadway information database. It was a database that was created in conjunction with the naturalistic driving study to say what the actual roadway looked like for those naturalistic drivers, and an easy way for users to explore the RID instead of having to be a user that has experience in GIS, and specifically ArcGIS, and being able to do dynamic segmentation. It's an easy kind of first step where you can explore the data without having to invest a lot of time or effort.
Weeks, a lot of very exciting topics. So I encourage you, if you see something that's interesting, that's maybe outside of your realm of expertise, go check it out. This is a good opportunity to explore new areas and find out what our colleagues are doing. A couple things.